Hello everybody, this is Quinn and today I'm going to show you how to start making your own music on the circuit rhythm. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so here we have our rhythm, and I want to make a whole new project. So I'm not going to mess with anything just yet. I'm going to go to the projects page. I'm going to pick a pad here that is this dim blue color. All these other ones are projects that already have stuff on them. So any of these dim blue pads will work. And now I'm going to start recording something to a track. So we're going to go to the first track up here. Each one of these that is numbered is its own track. So track 1. And here we have our step sequencer. So all these light blue pads at the top here represent our step sequencer. It's based on a 16-step sequencer. So basically each step, generally how it's laid out is each step corresponds to a 16th note of a beat. So this would be 1 beat, and then this would be beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So we can sequence notes and samples to each of these beats. So let's pick a sample. We're on track 1 and we're on the sample page here. So that means that these orange pads are all samples. So let's pick something like, that sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go to the note page now. So now our orange pads down here changed, and it's a keyboard with the sample that we just picked. We have sharps and flats as well. If you want a different octave, you can use the arrow keys up here. But we'll stick with this for now. Also, if you want 2 octaves on the circuit itself, you can hit note again, and it will expand to 2 octaves. So let's record a sequence. So I'm going to do this note here, which is a C, if the sample's in tune, that is. But I'm going to assign it to this step, this first step, which would be the first beat of our sequence. And then let's just throw in some other notes here. So now if we play this sequence, you can see the light scrolls through our step sequencer here and it plays the notes that we just played. Okay, so there we got a little melodic sequence. So why don't we add some drums to this? So I'm going to go to a new track now. We were on track 1. I'm going to go to track 2. And we're back in the sample page. So let's pick some drums. There are some drums here, but I kind of want to see what else we have. If we use the arrow keys while we're on the sample page, we can scroll through different pages, and you can see the little number on that goes across on these numbered pads here corresponds to what page of samples we're on. So let's check. I kind of like these, so I'll do something like that. And for the drums, we can actually do 2 samples on 1 track. And the way we can do that is with live recording, which is we record the samples as the sequence is playing. So we can play our sequence and then play along with it. And then once we actually want to record it, we hit record first and then play. And then anything we play will record to the sequence. And if you need a metronome while you do this, you can actually enable it by going Shift and then clear here. It says click right above. And now when you play, there'll be a metronome while you're playing. Turn it off for right now because it's kind of loud. And we'll just record a drum sequence live. So hit record first, then hit play. And there we go, saved to the pattern. So now we have a melodic sequence on track 1 and a drum sequence on track 2. So let's go track 3. Let's look through our samples here. So that's a pretty nice sample. It's a little long though, so I'm going to adjust the length of it. So we have these knobs up here, and they're all labeled. So this is your tuning, the start of the sample, the length of the sample, or where the sample ends, slope, which kind of acts like an ADSR, or attack and decay, distortion, adds distortion, high pass filter, low pass filter, and then resonance for the filters. So I'm messing with the length knob here because I want to make this sample a little shorter. There we go. So now it's a little shorter, and now let's record it. Something like that sounds good. Again, hit record, press play. This one was a little off, so I'm just going to tap it in, get rid of it, and then put that right there. And it sounds like the chord that's being strummed is coming in a little late, so I'm going to adjust the start. Just so it starts a little more quickly. All right, that sounds better. Now I kind of want to mess with these filter knobs here. That sounds kind of nice, how it kind of sweeps through the filter, and actually let's add a little resonance, why not? But what if I want to record that sweeping sound to the pattern? I can actually do that, and it's the same way I've been doing live recording before. So I turn on the record button, and then I press play, and I'm going to start turning the knob after I press play, and you'll see that the light turns red. So now, when I play it back, you'll notice that the light here will dim, and it'll come back when the pattern loops. So you can also record any changes you make with these knobs to the pattern itself, which is pretty neat. One other thing, I feel like it's kind of slow, so I want to change the tempo a little bit. So we have the tempo swing page here. Right now it's set to 90. The font might look a little weird, but that says 90. And we have this blue knob that corresponds with the blue BPM numbers here. We can just turn it up. So let's do like 110. I like that a little more. We also have this orange knob here, and this is swing. So right now it's at 50, which is completely even, but we can add a little swing to it. So let's try like 65. So if you hear the drums, it's a little swung now. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you today is this mixer page here. So here we can actually change the volumes of each of the tracks that we just recorded, and then we can also mute them. So we have what? Track 1, 2, and 3, all with patterns on them. So we'll just be looking at these 3 here. These colored pads here correspond with the number right above it. So if I hit this pad, it will mute track 1. Same with track 2. So I can kind of start doing like a little performance here just by muting and unmuting tracks. You can also change the volume of tracks with the knobs up here, and you can see the color corresponds with the pad down here. So If I want to change like the little melodic sample we had. That's a way you can do it. Also, one last thing, we have this master filter knob here, and this can be fun to play around with as well for doing like build-ups or something like that. So if you turn it to the left, it's a low-pass filter, and if you turn it to the right, it's a high-pass filter. And that's it for this video. So remember, we went over basically how to pick a sample, sequence notes to the step sequencer, how to live record notes to the step sequencer, and as well as how to use the mixer and knobs. So I hope you guys can get started messing around with your circuit rhythms, and see you in the next video.